In this video, I thought we'd talk about best practices for switching to ServiceM8. So whether you're coming from a paper diary or you're coming from another job management system, I wanted to give you a few hints and tips about what you need to think about when you're making the change so that you don't forget things, so that you don't underestimate the cost, and you give yourself enough time to be able to take care of the switch. Getting started with ServiceM8. The first thing you'll want to do is make sure that ServiceM8 is actually the right system for you. And one of the ways that you can check that it's the right system for you is to speak to a partner. So ServiceM8 partners are a network of agencies and consultants like me who deal with businesses every day that are using ServiceM8, and they will be able to answer any questions that you have. You want to know if there are any deal breakers, you want to factor in the things that are going to take time and the things that you need to think about when you're making the switch, and whether it is actually the right system for you. If you don't want to talk to someone, then you've got a lot of other options on the internet. So ServiceM8 have their own tour on their website, which will take you through the basic features. The other place you can look is the ServiceM8 knowledge base, which is a ton of articles all around what it can do and what you can do with it. And the other thing that you can do is you can use a website called getapp.com and use that to compare ServiceM8's key features and setup with other job management systems. Because in the last 5 years, the number of systems that you have to choose from has exploded. So by using a comparison site such as GetApp, you can see the features side by side and work out whether it really is the right system for you. So once you're happy that ServiceM8 is the right system for you, the first thing you need to do is sign up. Sign up for a trial. You get a 14-day trial to begin with, and this is a fully featured account. The only difference is that you're not paying for it for 14 days. So you can use all of the functionality, play around with it, and really get the most out of it to get a feel for how it's going to work and start getting your setup sorted. The next thing you'll need to do is choose a plan. Plans are primarily based around how many jobs you're going to complete each month. And if you think about jobs as when you're going to want to send an invoice, so if you look at how many invoices you're currently sending per week, per month, and then add around 20% to cover any quotes that come through that perhaps don't go ahead. And if you look at that on a monthly basis, that will give you an idea of the number of jobs that you'll need to have on your base plan. You'll then find that the plans also have some extra features and functionality as you go up the scale. The most popular plan, I would say, would be the growing plan, because that gives you 150 jobs per month, and it then gives you key features like ServiceM8 forms and automation that you can use to really take advantage of some of the key features of ServiceM8. The next thing you'll need to do is learn how ServiceM8 works. So one of the best places to get started is their learning roadmap. So if you log into ServiceM8.com into your account and look up at the right-hand corner, click on the question mark, and you will get an option learning roadmap. And this is a whole set of videos that take you through from start to finish the kind of features that you'll need and the bits that you'll need to set up. The really good thing about this is all these videos are very well produced and they're all really short and to the point. But the other thing to note is that for every member of staff that you've got set up on ServiceM8 who logs in, they can have their own learning roadmap. So each member of your team can work through at their own pace and you won't be stepping on each other's toes. Up next, you'll want to import your contacts. The first question to ask is, are you using an accounting package that connects with ServiceM8? So if you're using Xero, QuickBooks or MYOB, then ServiceM8 natively connects with these, and any contacts that you have in these accounting packages will be automatically synced down to ServiceM8, which will save you the trouble of having to bring them across from your other system manually. Now, if you're not using one of these accounting packages, then you'll need to look at how you're going to import your contacts into ServiceMate. And they do have a bulk import feature, which allows you to download a sample, what's called CSV file, which is basically a spreadsheet. And you can then pop into the columns the names, the addresses of your contacts, and then upload them in bulk. You don't have to add them one by one. So the next thing you'll need to look at is importing your materials, and by this I mean your price list, basically, the items that you add to your invoices every time you send an invoice to a client. Now, again, if you're using Xero, QuickBooks or MYOB, then these items that you've added to your invoices in the past will be automatically sent down to ServiceMate for you to use on your future invoices. So that's already taken care of. But again, if you're not using one of these packages, then you will need to look at getting a list of your materials and items that you sell, add them to a spreadsheet that you can then import in bulk to ServiceMate. The next thing you're going to do is set up your quote and your invoice templates. So you want them to look attractive, and unfortunately, out of the box, the ServiceMate templates are not the prettiest. So you will want to explore getting those set up. Again, some partners such as myself have ready-made templates available that you can have customized and uploaded to your account, or you can learn how to customize them yourself so that you can change the colors, add different things on, and really kind of tailor them to your business. I think the other important thing to note is you're not just stuck with one version of your quote template and one version of your invoice template. You can have multiple different versions of each of these, allowing you to take care of different requirements. Okay, so the next thing you're going to need to do is actually set up and invite your staff to be able to use your account with you, because it's no fun just doing it all on your own. Before you go ahead and set up your staff accounts, you'll want to have a think about what level of security and what permissions you want them to have in the system. So for example, think about whether you want them to be able to see pricing, whether you want them to be able to take payment, whether you want them to be able to write notes and add information to the jobs. Have a think about that before, and then go to servicemate.com and log in, go to settings, then security roles, and ServiceMate has a number of out-of-the-box security roles. This will give you a good starting point for the level of access that you'll want your different types of staff to have. So I've talked about the learning roadmap and how each individual staff member can work through their own version of the learning roadmap. The other thing you'll want to do as you give them the information about how to use ServiceMate and they start picking it up is you need to be very clear on how you want them to use it. Because it's all very well them knowing exactly how to do every feature and every function, but they need to know how you want them to use it. So if you want time recorded on every job, then you need to make sure that when you train them, you say, you need to clock on, you need to clock off. And so having some kind of bulleted list is going to be really important to them understanding exactly what you want from them. So we're nearly there, and we just got one more thing to do, and that's pick a start date. I would definitely recommend that you don't pick your busiest time of the year to launch your new system, and then just choose a date and start from there. So Mondays always work really well. You can take any test data that you've created as part of testing it out and learning how it works, and you can run through what's called a startup or a cleanup wizard to get rid of that test data and leave any of your customer data in place. And then just pick a date and get started. You'll have some problems, teething problems and things to begin with, and bits that you don't quite understand how they work, but over time you'll work it out. And if you get stuck, then you've got ServiceMate support team who are available on chat pretty much 24/7. They're also available at support@servicemate.com. And you've also then got your whole network of ServiceMate partners across the UK and worldwide who will help you with anything you need and can generally tailor support packages to suit you. That's it from me. I hope this has given you a few ideas as to what you'll need to think about when you're changing across to ServiceM8. And if you've got any questions or you want to set up a discovery call with me to see whether it's the right system for your plumbing and heating business or your electrical business or any kind of business that uses systems where you need to go and visit your customers, then in the description I'll put a link to my calendar and you can set up a discovery call with me. So thanks for watching and I'll see you on the next one.